Okay, so we're going to go over just a few ways to keep your blog safe and private and make sure that there's not people stealing your information or learning more about your family than you would like them to know. So a couple of ways to keep your blog pretty private is, first of all, once you log into Blogger, you'll get to this dashboard area. I'm sure you're familiar with this now. But you go into Settings, and what you're going to do is add your blog to our listings, change that to no. Let search engines find your blog, change that to no as well. Stay the same. And then under publishing, oops, not under publishing, sorry. Sorry, I've already changed these settings, so I'm not familiar with where they are. Okay, you can also change it so really how you make your blog private. When people talk about that, this is really where you do it. It's under Settings, and if you go over here to the far right under Permissions, this blog readers area is where you're going to change. I think the default is anybody can view this blog, and that's what mine is set at right now. But for privacy purposes, you probably want it to be only people you choose, and then you manually input email addresses into this box. You can also, since Blogger is linked with Google and with Gmail, if you've got email addresses in your Gmail account saved there, you can automatically import those. So my friend Jared, Jamie, my sister, stuff like that. You can import those addresses directly here. If, for example, you've got a blog that only your family is writing, say you've got family all over the country, and you don't really want anybody other than your family members reading this blog, what you would do is you would add them as blog authors up here. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to Add Authors. You input those email addresses to the people you want to have access to write on the blog, to write posts and post content and such. You would put those email addresses in here. Again, you can choose those from your contacts in Gmail, and that's really nice. And so after you would do that, you would click this Only Blog Authors button. So only people that write on the blog, only people you've added as blog authors up here will be able to see your blog at all. Otherwise, there will be a big notice at the top that says, sorry, this blog is private, you cannot view this person's blog. And that's, I believe that's the gist of, you can also go into comments. This is another good place just to double check. But if you want, allowing anyone to comment, who can comment anyone, is a little bit scary. I have mine set so only registered users can comment on my blog. If you only want people with Google accounts to comment, or only members of the blog, that is, again, people that are writing on your blog, people you've given permissions to over back where we were before. And so I wouldn't recommend letting anyone be able to comment. At the very least, restrict it to registered users. And I think that is it. You can also change the comment moderation. If you do, for whatever reason, get people posting comments on your blog that aren't people you know, or people that you're comfortable with commenting on your blog, you can moderate the comments. And that sends you an email address anytime somebody tries to post a comment, and you have to click an approve button that says you approve this comment, and then it will be posted on your blog. I have never had any trouble with commenting. There's not enough people in the world that read my blog, so I've never had that issue come up. And let me just go through the rest of these. I think that's the gist of how to make your blog more private. Another thing, just, common sense, don't post, cities or street names where you live. Don't post about your kids' schools. Don't post your kids' names if you're not comfortable with that. A lot of times mommy bloggers will post, they'll have pictures of their kids, but not necessarily their names or where they live, or at least not specific street names or school names and such. That's mostly common sense stuff you don't want the entire world reading. Is never wise to post on a blog, but these privacy settings pretty much limit who can see what information. And so if you're really uncomfortable with people, you can make your blog private, and that will eliminate a lot of those risks.